fellow tennis nerds, I hope all is well. Pro Staff X, the new Pro Staff from Wilson with the 100 square inch head instead of the standard 97. Specs otherwise very similar, relatively headlight racket. It has a pretty beefy weight, 315 grams, swing weight around 330, which is kind of spot on for me. And I did struggle with this racket with the control in the beginning. It did have a tendency to sail a little bit. The racket kind of grabs the ball. For my first review, I tried it with all the power. Maybe went a bit too low in tension, 23 kilos, 51 pounds. Generally, I like a bit higher tensions because I want the control, and not great for tennis arms to go with higher tensions. Just a slight warning there. I know my arm pretty well and what I can handle. In the end, I went for Luxilon 4G, one of the stiffer strings in the Luxilon setup. And this obviously looks great, but it also pairs really well with the racket, the sound, the control, your ability now to swing through the ball a bit more. And now this racket has really impressed me. I like this one a lot. I like it more than the 97 now with the correct string setup. So it's so important with the string. It makes such a difference in your tennis racket, how it plays, how you feel about it, what it gives you on your shot. So when you found a racket that feels like it's the one, then you need to experiment a bit with strings to find the proper one that works for your game and it gives you what you need for your control, power, spin, so on. But with 4G, this is an excellent frame. I've handed it out to a bunch of strong players. They all like it a lot, but different strokes for different folks. Some people like the 97 for the more control, and some players love the 100X because you have a softer feel, a little bit more forgiveness. You can hit the ball a little bit outside, similar to a gravity, and you get the ball to go where you want it to go anyway. This has a bit more lift on the ball still than the Gravity Pro. It's not quite as dependable. It gives you a little bit more for free when you swing out. For some that's great, for some it won't be as good. That's why I felt I needed to bump up the tension to 53 pounds, 24 kilos for this 4G 125 gauge string setup. It's a stiff string, but in this racket it felt good. In the 97 it felt a bit too stiff for me, and I couldn't really recommend that. Even Nicky said the same, it was a little bit too stiff. But in this racket, since it's a little bit softer, has a bit bigger head size, slightly softer layup. And now a quick word from our sponsor.
If you're a singles player and you're unhappy with your shot selection, you should check out the new rules of singles by our friends over at Fuzzy Yellow Balls. 20 new rules inside this app. So new strategies featuring Craig O'Shaughnessy, who you might know from working with Novak Djokovic. He's a tennis analytics expert, and he has come up with new strategies proven on his big data analysis to show how you will win more points. So that's what you're gonna learn inside the new rules of tennis. There's a special introductory deal that lasts until Thursday, March 30th. So pick up a copy now if you wanna save some money and make sure you win more singles matches in 2023.
Good racket. That's my second impressions. I think they've really created something exciting here. Not sure it's a switcheroo, but it's something that I will be happily recommend to players looking for a control racket with a bit more forgiveness. And this one will fit the bill. It's like a little bit of a beefed up Gravity Tour, pretty much, or even the Gravity MP maybe, because you have a little bit more spin on the ball. So, and very nice on volleys. You're at the net, you feel very, very connected to the racket. Also nice on serve. So this one is very good. Wilson's latest batch of rackets have been impressive. The Shift and now this. So this one will give you more control than the Shifts. For you players who hit with more naturally more spin, maybe a bit more of a semi-western grip, you go with the Shift. That's all for this second impression review of the Pro Staff X, one of the more exciting frames now in the Wilson lineup. What do you think of the design? In the sun it looks pretty great, I think, but it's been a bit of a mixed reception to this one. But the playability is great, and I'm keen to hear what you think of the Wilson Pro Staff X. PS, check out our course to improve your tennis, our racket course to learn more about racket strings and get to your perfect setup, as well as all the news articles and free content on tennisnerd.net. That is all. Have a nice day, and don't forget to play some tennis.